Was a tiny little pinhole eye. There has been weakening in this storm. It is about to move. Oh, it is moving over land right now, and as it traverses land, that will prevent any extra strengthening. We will see perhaps some interaction from land weaken it a little bit more, but then it moves back over the Gulf of Mexico, and then we anticipate additional strengthening then. Hurricane warnings are up, and that does include Cozumel and over the northern coast as well. The other concern is going to be with the surge. So we expect big surge, 6 to 8 feet here with the landfall, and you're going to see that especially on that right front quadrant. But then once it comes over here, think about the circulation of the northern part of the Yucatan. You're still going to get surge, and with that flow right on shore, it's an 8 to 12 foot surge that we are expecting there. Rainfall is going to be 1 to 2 inches here for us in Cancun. The surge will be the bigger impact. The winds, of course, already we did have that wind gust at that weather flow station to 106 miles per hour. All right, so it's a tiny system, bigger than yesterday, but still very small. The hurricane force winds only extend out 30 miles. The tropical storm force winds extend out 140 miles, but we do anticipate that it will grow in size once it hits the Gulf of Mexico. Rainfall will be a couple of inches. The problem here in the Yucatan is that we just had all the rainfall from Gamma. So if there was any flooding from that, this is just going to make that worse, and we'll be dealing with that. And then we watch its approach across the Gulf of Mexico into the U.S. by the end of the week, Friday timeframe. You look at Cancun, this was compared right now. We had landfall here just in the past hour, and we are seeing conditions continue to deteriorate right across the northern Yucatan. Peak wind gusts there of 106 miles per hour near Cancun. Then let's shift gears and talk about the other weather across our nation. We've got a front moving in this morning across Michigan. This heads into the northeast, and we do have a day with some showers, some thunderstorms that are possible, and it's going to be a really windy day here, just in general across the northeast. So thunderstorms that could pop anywhere from New York State over into New England, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. We've got that chance of thunderstorms. Boston, the end of your day could be wrapped up with some thunderstorms here that could be a little bit feisty. Some winds gusting up close to 60 miles per hour. That could take down some trees. You might have some power outages. But in general, it's going to be really windy. We've got a pretty strong jet right across this area. And so getting ready for winds that could be up around 50 miles per hour, even in excess of that today. Not because of thunderstorms necessarily, just because it's going to be windy. So power outages are, I think, a possibility, especially over into Massachusetts, where we do have that high wind warning in effect. All right, let's go out to the west, where, of course, the wind has been a huge. Look at the model forecast for Delta, and they've been honing in on Louisiana time and time again. A lot of consistency, run over run, when it comes to Louisiana in the crosshairs. One thing that's changed a little bit, a bit of a westward trend in that track. And let's talk about why that is. High pressure, same high pressure actually giving us just a little bit of that shear right now. But this high pressure has been the main steering flow and will be for the next day or two. But then by Friday, we see a trough digging in across Texas. And this comes in and takes over as the main tug pulling Delta up to the north. And that's how we get into that Louisiana landfall. But that trough, too, will do some helpful things, like create some shear, and that will knock down any risk of intensification as it approaches the coastline. So here we go with that forecast track into Louisiana and then up across Mississippi. Yes, into Middle Tennessee. Again, you are in the cone. Nashville, I think you've been in cones this year as many times as Tampa or Jacksonville has been. But let's talk intensity. So we have a system coming in as a Cat 2 right now into Mexico. It's going to move back over the Gulf of Mexico. And then when it does, it will have the opportunity to re-strengthen. Cat 4 status, not out of the question. Could it be stronger? Not impossible. But when you look at what's going to happen when it gets towards the coastline, the shear is going to be so key. This will help, at the very least, prevent additional strengthening when it does approach the coast. And we do have some cooler coastal waters, and that will also help that as well.